Monday, innit? It's grey. But it's Russ and my hours 11. Hope you're all safe and well. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, hitting the bell icon so you're made aware every time we put new content on. It's Monday, it's grey, it's not nice, but I'm here. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. But anyway, I hope everyone is safe and well. As always, we'd like to thank our channel sponsors, Untuck It. Check them out in the description below. Anyway, I hope everyone had a lovely weekend. The last weekend sort of in lockdown before we go into the tier system. Hope everyone got up to some great stuff. Anyone had any fun? Let us know what you got up to. Hopefully, a lot of people put up their Christmas decorations, which would be lovely to see. Oh, yeah, we got football tonight, haven't we? We got football. Thanks, Kent, for reminding me. We do have football tonight. West Ham v Villa. We can go fifth. So, probably going to lose now. Do you remember? I remember it was like almost like 18 months or or 2 seasons when it was almost like, oh, and if we win, we go to 7th and we go to 7th. We go to 7th. And every game we'd end up losing or drawing. But who knows? I've got to feed him. Kent thinks it's going to be 2-1 tonight. Oh, I'm very well, thank you, Kent. Have a good weekend. I am going to go along your lines, mate. I've got to feed him. It's going to be a win tonight. Got a feeling with the old Moyes mentality, the Moyes-tality, as I'm going to now phrase it. I think we're going to do all right. I thought what we'll do today is we'll do a bit of a thoughts and previews for the game, because it is like in a few hours' time. I've got to dash in a couple of hours' time to go and get ready, and make sure everything works. Because I thought, and then we can do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday onwards. We'll then make it, because it's Christmas, isn't it? 1st of December. Get that advent calendar up. We'll probably start some sort of 12, the 24, the advent calendar. Miami's 11 or something like that. We'll come up with that. We'll do the 3 Kings and all that. We'll take the Mickey, but we'll do a West Ham sort of preview today. Obviously, weekend results reasonably went our way, in terms of just in terms of the way they came out, So, as I said, we can go to 5th today, I think someone mentioned, which is absolutely mental. And I've just seen on BBC, England shops that open 24 hours a day over Christmas. Wow, may have a quick read this while we're here live. Shops will be allowed to open for 24 hours in the run up to Christmas and until January. Local authorities will be able to temporarily waive the rules restricting retail opening hours. Ah, interesting. I suppose that's quite a good idea, really. It means it's not everyone's concentrated, because come Thursday, everyone's going to rush to do their Christmas shopping, and so having it 24 hours, it ain't a bad idea, really. And it means obviously they can employ more staff, and they can, so that's not too bad. What does everyone think? We know Kent's predictions is going to be 2-1. What does everyone else think the predictions are going to be for the game today? Obviously, West Ham Villa at 8 o'clock kickoff, I want to say, but hopefully, otherwise I'm late already, because I'm at the ground 4 hours before. So otherwise it's who's the game? Is it who's before us? I'm really unprepared today. I'm a lot more prepared, but a quick check while we're here. As I said, we're live, obviously, so clearly I didn't really plan it. 5:30 kickoff, Leicester Fulham. Oh dear. Oof. Really enjoyed Peter's Mayhem. Yes, Kent. Good shouts. I was and I think I said it on Friday. Was it Friday or Thursday? I can't remember. I'm really emotional. I was really choked up afterwards. Because obviously we talked about a lot of things that, we probably don't talk about, blokes talk about, in terms of like mental health and stuff, but also the effect that West Ham can have on someone. And we jokingly say, how the effect it has on people's mental health, but actually it had a positive effect for Peter, and it was lovely, and really, really honest. And considering, and that's the same with all my interviews. I know I haven't met 230. I've probably met about, I don't know, 15, 20 of people we've interviewed, and everyone's been so open and so honest with their interviews, and even more so Peter. And it really made an impact to me. And it was really, really, if you ever want to see what a club can mean to you, or what West Ham means to you, that interview does it. He absolutely does it. So, Lee, hope you're well. 3-1 West Ham. Is that 3-1 West Ham and then 3-1 to Leicester as well? What's the double? That'd be a good double, wouldn't it? Andy, hope you're well, mate. Hope you had a good weekend, and hope Lee and Kent had one as well. As I said, we can go to 5th today, I believe, isn't it? Is that right? Am I right in thinking that? So, what we got? So we're on 14 points, so we can go to 17 points. And yes, because obviously goal difference, because we'll be above in goal difference. Wow. Wowzers. We're trying to get a nosebleed if we hit 5th, but it's going to be a good game, that's for sure. I like Villa as a team. I think they played when they came to us last game of the season last year. They came with a plan, and I think it's one of these things as well that West Ham never seems to have had the luck. Do you know what I mean? We've never seemed to have luck, particularly in recent years. Now, the fact that Barkley's not around, he's injured for today, is luck. Potentially, Cavani might be out for the game next week. He might be suspended based on his Instagram post, which is luck as well. We just seem to be, again, even the West Ham and me don't want to talk about it in case it jinxed us or ginxed it. Once some bloke on these other Brown said that because I played a certain song that I'd ginxed them. Not jinx them, ginx them, which I thought was hilarious. So yeah, GIST rather than JINX. Right, what we got here? Ben, hope you well, man. Vin, the same side about. No, that's what I mean. They aren't the same side about Barkley. Barkley and Grealish as a pair, you know, top 10 team, aren't they? Really, as those midfield two, and they're not the same team. But would that mean maybe someone like John McGill gets a bit more time on the ball and stuff? He's a good player. But they came to our gaff, didn't they, Andy? And not they came with a game plan but I remember that game because obviously they scored first, wasn't it? And then it was like all I could see was that all the Aston Villa directors, because obviously they needed that point to stay up, and they were like all at the front, like yeah. And obviously 2 seconds later, Grealish sort of knocks it over their keeper. But I always say West Ham are family. I'm missing my West Ham fan. Yeah, back to the peak there, totally. West Ham are family, and you know, there's loads of stuff we do. I mean, you see the stuff that Baz and everyone does for Isla. That shows you about and things Siobhan and all the swimming stuff as well. You know, as I said, we mentioned it the other day. You know, all the contents creators of West Ham, we're putting together this sort of this sort of live stream, which was meant to be last week, but unfortunately, you know, it's just trying to get there's loads of moving parts, unfortunately. So we're going to do it for I think it's next weekend. But even that, everyone getting together, it just shows you that, you know, when there's a common goal, that people can, you know, lay down their swords, and although they might have differences with people, when it's for a common cause, it's the West Ham family coming through. Similarly, you know, obviously some people have, you know, bereavements and stuff, unfortunately, over this weird time. And you know, seeing on Facebook and stuff, the West Ham love that comes out is it's a special thing. We're a special bunch, and I mention it all the time. We're a special bunch of fans, and stuff like that epitomizes it really. What we got? Russ the Gist. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about trying to get a brand deal with Ginksters just to sort of compel the fact that he couldn't spell Jinx. But yeah, no, it's gonna be weird. And obviously, it's the last game before everything comes back. You know, well, not starts to come back. So obviously, next week is potentially is the first game back with the 2,000 fans. So it seems like a sort of I was going to say a stick in the ground. So this game is going to be like a stick in the ground, and then hopefully we can move forward. The memories we all take for granted. It was a great interview, and his stories may never have been shown if it wasn't for you. That's Lee. That's the whole idea. It's a community channel. You know, we're almost. I mean, I looked yesterday. We're almost at 7,000 subscribers, which is absolutely mental. You look at some of the others. We've got 7,000 subscribers almost. It's crazy, and that's the whole point. It's giving people a platform to talk about their memories. And as you said, unfortunately for a lot of people, they stay in here, but they shouldn't. some of the memories that Peter, some of the stories that Peter mentioned was so funny. Like the Leicester City one where he ended up being a kit man, just because Eddie needed a pair of hands, stuff like that. It happens all the time at West Ham. And it's really important, we all, there's obviously criticism about West Ham. We're not West Ham anymore. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And it takes things like, like Peter to talk about these things, or Baz's a campaign about Isla. I mean, how much money have they raised? I mean, we raised £20,000 for the food banks in September. West Ham is still there. Don't worry. And and it still is there, and it's the community spirit, the family spirit is still there, and things like that show us. I saw a Christmas lights. We could do a selfie. If he's in a rush to work, we'll do it later. What time do you go to work then, Andy? What time do you go to work? If you Christmas lights, they come on about 4:00. I want to say 4:00. Snow machine's not out tonight because I've got to go West Ham, obviously. Last time we played Villa at home, we really struggled. I think we need ball carriers tonight to break the. Yeah, but also last year, Ken, obviously when we played them, we had nothing to play for. We couldn't be move anywhere in the league. It was almost like an exhibition game, really. So, Villa had to get that point to guarantee themselves, so they were virtually safe. So they still had to get something out of the game. We're a different team. I think, where before, when anyone says, "Oh, we can go to," as I said previously, we could go to 7th or we could go to 6th if you win this game. Now we can go to 5th. I'm not there typically, because as soon as you say that, West Ham are going to lose. Obviously, this could completely change by about 10 o'clock this evening. But West Ham they're different now. They're a different bunch of people, and it's almost like I see, it's stages of West Ham, and now in this Moyes era, the second coming, it's different, and I've got a feeling they're going to get something out of the game tonight. 5th, wouldn't that be great going into December to be 5th in the league? And it's like everything that's gone on, and it's great for West Ham fans to have a team which that are going to work, and they're going to work hard for them. Doesn't always happen with West Ham, does it? We know that. So. Yes, Ollie, hope you're well, mate. Good afternoon, and good afternoon, everyone. So Kent's in tier 2, Gutty can't go on the break, but the kids can go and see Santa in any tier next week. Yep, fair enough. And it is, but it is, and unfortunately, it is at the moment. It seems that with Christmas, there's this extra rule. It's almost like you can do asterisks, but if it's for Christmas, it's and obviously, the fact that we can. It's going to be, potentially relaxing of rules between 23rd and 27th of December for Christmas and stuff. But yeah, I mean, we had this debate, this mass debate the other day, didn't we, about what people think in terms of whether it's a good idea or not a good idea. And obviously, there was pros and cons, but it's a start, isn't it? I think that's the way I'm looking at it now. It's a start. So it's 2000. It's going to be weird. It's going to be a weird atmosphere. It's going to be strange, but it's a start. We're not going to go from 0 to 100 straight away. Even the fastest cars in the world have to go through the gears, and that's what we're doing here. We've got to go through the gears. We've got to sort of baby steps, and so it's not great for everyone. It's not great for tier 3s and stuff like that. And some people I know who in tier 2 aren't going to put in for the ballot because they're not ready for it yet. Because it's a mental thing as well. Being being in a space with 2,000 people is a big deal. Even if you've gone sort of, I don't know, to Lakeside or Westfield or shopping, whatever, it's a different thing. It's West Ham. It's where you're used to seeing a lot of people as well. So there's that mental side as well. A lot of people said I'm not going back until 75% capacity. That's your choice. Fair enough. I know some people are clucking to get in, and hopefully they will be the ones who get in. That's the thing. If people are feeling like they don't know either way what they're going to do, just let people. There is going to be at least 2,000 people who are genuinely begging to go back to London Stadium in whatever capacity they do. So I really hope they get it rather than the people who are sitting on the fences. Just because if you're sitting on the fence and there's obviously some doubt, and you want to go there if there's any doubt for you. What we got? We were safe by then. Oh yeah, the Villa thing. Yep, definitely we were safe, so it's different. And he's going for a 3-1. Bowen, Haller, and I fancy Cresswell free kick. Interesting. So the assumption is that Haller will start instead of Antonio. Who knows? Who knows, man? I am with you on that point. I don't think we should start Antonio. Put him on the bench. And actually, I think going forward, I think Antonio would be far much more impactful if he almost like sort of the way Wolves played Traore in terms of that. So we'll see. And I just think Haller needs a run. Haller needs a run in this system. You can't chop and change and he can drop out and drop back. I think he needs a run in his system to see if we get about Greedish quiet. I think we get exactly. That's the general consensus, it seems, on Twitter, to be honest. Keep Greedish quiet and everything should be that's their main. He's their talisman, isn't it? He's their talisman, man. Have you made it of what we should do for not at the moment. I mean, it's not really my place, really. I've put our suggestions. We spoke on Friday. I put them, so we'll see what happens. But there's loads of stuff going on. So who knows? I don't know. I'm literally one very literally. That's my size of the cog in the operation. So I've just put together the selection, things like the socially distanced Mexican waves and stuff. I think that's be quite funny and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. But I understand, but don't seem like there's any joined up thinking. I'm clucking to get back. I need no one's exactly, and there isn't any joined up approach. As I said, everything seems to have an asterisk next to it if it's Christmas, and I mean, someone said to me, I spoke to someone today, and they said they'd rather just have, instead of going to this tiered system, keep lockdown going, and then rather than then start again. It's almost like a hard finish and then start again, rather than this sort of graduation, because it's as I said, once you give people an inch, they'll take a mile, won't they? We know it's going to happen. We know we're, and it's virtually inevitable, I think, after Christmas that we'll have some sort of lockdown again, because infection rate will go up because it's Christmas. It's and also people's always during Christmas, they're, in the lead up as well, they're sort of, their energy levels are getting low. It's coming to the end of the year. It's dark. So you're more susceptible to getting stuff as well. Which is why they do the flu jab, before that sort of Christmas period, that sort of festive period, because of that exact reason. Ken thinks half an hour for Antonio if needed. If needed is the right word. We've got a load of games coming up, haven't we, with Christmas and stuff. Although, again, we've been a bit lucky in terms of that, because we've got stuff like, the Boxing Day game's been moved, isn't it, to Sky. Sky took it. And so that's not too bad, because I think that helps us out a little bit. But there's a lot of games over Christmas, so we want to keep as much of a fit squad as we can, to be honest. What are we thinking about Barat? I'm clucking to see him play properly. He's come on and he's done something each time he's come on, isn't he? And so I'd like to see him given half an hour as well, just given some proper time. I mean, unfortunately, the last game he was on at home, he was coming on for about 15 minutes before the actual ball went out of play, didn't it? So he was sort of sitting there waiting for him. Hopefully the vaccine will start rolling out. Also, I heard a report that, that it could be available before, or the first doses before Christmas, which is incredible. So we'll see what happens. But I think that's going to be again, stick in the ground, isn't it? The drawing the line in the sand. From then on, then things can start having some sense of normality. It's mental to think, isn't it? This time last year, we were reading about these things in the paper and seeing some YouTubers who were out there in China and reading it, thinking, oh, wow, oh my God, that looks awful. It sounds awful. Roll on 12 months and the world is changed completely, isn't it? It's crazy what one thing's had to the world in terms of one disease, or one virus rather. In terms of Barami, Kent will start him instead of Fornals, ball carrier. Yeah, I see that. The other option is we start Antonio on instead of Fornals, or instead of Bowen or something, and play Antonio in his truer position rather than up front, and then play Haller. And that's the thing I like about the team at the moment. There's loads of options, isn't it? There's loads of options across the pitch now. There's loads of ways we can change it if we want to, to accommodate different players and different styles of play. I mean, I was reading an article about Nobes. He's a big player now. He's a fringe player now. It's just crazy to think, but it is, unfortunately, for him. But, I mean, he can still give you 15, 20 minutes at the end to tie things up. And but yeah, Barama, I'd love to give him a proper go. Do you know what I mean? Just see what he can do. And again, Villa, he didn't play obviously last year Villa in the Premier League, but they were an emerging Premier League side. I'd rather be more inclined to play him against the likes of Villa than I would do against Man United, for example. Just because you got to think, again, baby steps. But that's just my opinion. Crazy what's been going. Yeah, it's just crazy, isn't it? The whole thing's crazy, and now it's like you're looking at next year. It's like next year it's my 40th next year. I know I don't look old enough. I appreciate that. I just thought I'd save you typing it in. So yeah, I know, but I appreciate that. And we were looking to go away, and my wife's like, "Oh, well, we'll probably be able to go away next year." What? It's like, but it's true. Where now you used to plan your holidays, 12 months in advance and stuff like that. Now you can't really, because you don't know what's going to go on in the world. But hey ho, Ollie would like to see Saeed given a run out, clucking to see Dawson play. Poor old Dawson, eh? Did we ever get to the bottom of whether Winston Reid's thing runs out in January or not? Because I think it does. I think his loan spell runs out for January, and so poor Craig would be another one down, arguably, wouldn't he? In the pecking order. Jim says you can't drop Fornals. He's too important for the team. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. I personally, I wouldn't drop him. I'd start to say, everyone, the old adage, you never change a winning side, and I wouldn't change a team, but I'd be more inclined to give Barama more time. At the moment, it's always Lanzini's the one he's brought on, it seems. Whereas he's never gonna get back. He's never gonna get into the speed of the Premier League or stuff like that if you don't play him. And so, but it's a balancing act, isn't it? I totally understand, particularly if we're if it's a 1-0, to all intents and purposes, Barama is a luxury player, isn't he, to have on? He's a skillful player. He's a technical player. He makes things happen, but not necessarily in the defensive area. And so it's a risk. And then if you take off someone like Haller, or you take off the striker and play, then you're losing the physicality, and then he's on his own, and then it's the whole Haller situation again. So you would have to go on the left at some time. But then obviously you've got Masuaku, you've got Chris. I don't know. Thankfully I'm not a manager, so I can't really make those suggestions. If it was me, then he'd be starting, because I just think he offers something that none of our other players do. Yes, Fornals can do a trick, can lay some nice passing. So can Lanzini, but he just has everything. And I think also it might. I mean, Bowen's not playing bad at all, but his decision making has been a bit skew-if. Let's say that he's obviously he's wants to make things happen. You can tell he gets his foot in the ball and he runs, and he wants to make them happen. He wants the tackles. He wants to take the shots on, and I think that's great. And because for too often we sort of pass it around, he's really direct. And I think sometimes a bit of competition just sort of just straightens your senses up a little bit. That's what I was. So what we got? Ben, I want to see Antonio start picks, but I think he'll be on the bench. I think that why risk him? Keep him on the bench and see what happens. If we need him, bring him on. If not, keep him for the Man United game. Because you imagine, Man United and him, that would be quite interesting. Oh yeah, I forgot we signed. Drew back in January. So. And I still think that's why Craig Dawson was signed on loan. Will ever return? Is he gone now? Is Ben Davies gone? Not Ben Davies, you're still here. But has Roberto? I thought he'd left permanently now, or was he on loan? I can't remember, to be honest. So I'm sure Kent will know. Kent, do you think Moyes can make it like what he did about his future? Just wondering, mate. I'd like to think he could, but I don't think it's Moyes. I think it's Pierce. I think it's Nolan rather. I think it's I think yeah. Moyes is the he's the spearhead, but it's the backroom staff that seems to be making a huge difference for some of these players. As I said before, before the sort of second coming, so to speak, of David Moyes, if Masuaku had got injured, coming back from international duty, we really wouldn't have cared, really, would we? Some people would if they'd like, if they liked him, but most people wouldn't care. So again, I think he's just, and same with, and the same with Fornals. I mean, Fornals has improved so much, and Cresswell was obviously having a lot of criticism, but he going to the back three. Antonio as well has seemed to have, he's done it consistently, and I think when he although I don't even think Willie will get in the team, to be honest. You look how well Balbuena and Oggy are playing, and you still got Diop there as well. So Reed would be full choice out of those two. So it's always 2 plus Cresswell. You would never play 3 central defenders across that back 3 because you would lose that sort of that left-sided stuff, that little bit of pace that Cresswell still has. You know what I mean? You'd lose that definitely. What players do you think we need in January? Well, I think Ollie, I think basically it's to do with the formation. If we're keeping that formation, then clearly, and I think it goes without saying, everyone knows that we need an Antonio Mark II. So, if we're led to believe it's Josh King, and if we can get Josh King for 10 million, 12 million, whatever it is now, it's quite, it's coming to the end of his contract, then great. I think we still need, I'd still like to see, I mean, you got to go through the team. We need to start looking long term at Fabianski's replacement. I still think there's, I'm sure things are being looked at, but for me, that's something which at the moment is all right, but you can see it coming on the horizon, and it's going to come eventually. So let's preempt for that. But then that's difficult, getting a keeper in to say, well, you're going to be sort of first team in 18 months' time because Fabianski's going to retire, because Fabianski's not going to be around forever. What else do we need? Centre backs. I think we're pretty much covered on centre backs now. What else? I still think we need a midfielder if Souček and Rice, one of them gets injured. We haven't really got much for a backup player apart from playing Mark, but Mark can't really take it, so won't be able to go for the whole game. So, I know we won't get him, but someone like Tielemans or someone that sort of ilk of a player. So if it does, I don't know, Kadir or so, so anyone, you don't really want an old player. But there's, I know they're looking at the Czech league again. There must be another Souček there we can have. What we got here? I think Winston has had his time. Yeah. A lot of injuries. That happens quite a lot with our players, don't they? Injuries seem to just keep really, really sort of really playing on all of our issues. They're great players, but they got injured. There's always a but with West Ham players recently. Midfielder, striker in Jan, we won't get. He's a one. Yeah, but no, exactly. Yeah, but we need someone who can hold, who would fit into. I still think. Obviously, it's the nature. Someone like Haller doesn't play necessarily his best football in that situation, playing as like a one-up top on his own, running about, to be honest. However, I think someone like Josh King would do that. He has a lot of energy, and you need a lot of energy for that position. Yeah, someone like him, and definitely a midfielder, a central midfielder. You're right. I wouldn't say a flashy central midfielder. I think we've got enough of them. But it's sort of a Declan Rice, Souček ilk, if that makes sense. That's who I would probably be looking at. Just because we just seem to really, really, and obviously we would rely on them because they're arguably 2 of our best players in our squad, but we rely on them heavily. And again, lots of games coming up, and we want to try and compete. If we're finishing fifth, if like after tonight we win, which would be lovely, and we're 5th, we should be going for the cups. We should be having a go at January, for the third, the FA Cup. And if that means we need to have some decent backup so we can go on these 2 fronts. Why not? We haven't got Europe. We're out. There's no Carabao Cup now. We've done that. We're out of that one. So it's the FA Cup and the Premier League. And as I said, if we're reasonably sort of safe by Jan, not safe because you never be truly safe until you got the points, but if we've got a fair haul of points by after Christmas, just when we get into the third round, then why not? But you need the depth to be able to compete. That's for sure. We miss the Antonio. He's playing for Villa. Yeah, yeah, it's true. But it was a lot of money, wasn't he? And I know he's been paying it, but it was a lot. It was that was you look at risks, and it was a risk, wasn't it? If it was 20 million, but wasn't he something like 30 or wasn't he? Was he like I don't know, like almost 30 million, wasn't he? They paid for him, which is a huge amount of money for someone relatively. Well, he's unproven, really. So, but fair play to Villa. And that's what I like about Villa. They basically said, "All right, we need this person, we need a midfielder, we need a striker." Bosh, bosh, bosh. They got off. They got them. So fair play to, they got some great signings. They got obviously Ollie Watkins. They got Barkley on loan, and just those two together. And they either goalkeeper. So went to go and get a goalkeeper. You know what I mean? So who do you want in the third round? Oh, it's tonight, isn't it? It's tonight. It's being drawn. I want anyone apart from a Premier League team or a decent Championship team. I'd like a gimme. And I know there's no gimmies in football, but it'd be nice to get a gimme. Because also it'd be nice because we saw that with the Hull game and the Charlton game. It'd be nice to give some of the kids a decent run out. I'd like to get the boy Ashby out again because I think no, he's out. He's out for the season, Ashby. I think we're out for the rest of this year, that's for sure. But I'd like to get the Ben Johnsons. I'd like to give them run outs and maybe give Trot some time as well. But yeah, I'd like a gimme. I think every Premier League team would like a relatively easier round than having to get drawn against Man City away or Liverpool away. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens, innit? And the luck is in West Ham. We're a bit lucky at the moment. So I hope we get as Ben says. Yeah, Orient. Oh, could you imagine the Olympic Stadium derby? That'd be fun, wouldn't it? Yeah, why not? It's like again. Depends about, just depends really. I mean, I think, it would love a tie at West Ham. Could you just imagine it would be on Sky? It would be the BBC match, that's for sure. And it'd be quite an interesting one. And Ollie was going to say Orient as well. One of my pals from work supports them. Well, there we go. There we go, Ollie. That's it. Sorted them just because your mate supports them. So it's now done. It is now done. Anyway, now we've got here 28 million. Yeah, 28 million it was. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, definitely to start with the 20, and there was like it went up based on appearances and stuff, wasn't it? There's no one no, I know there's no give me. I know there's no gimme. I know, but you know what I mean. It's I wouldn't want a big Premier League team, basically, just because it's us. I mean, like the Carabao Cup, we were tooting along nicely. Some really good performances, some of the best football we've seen West Ham play, for sure. And then Everton turn up about a round or two too early for us, I think. And, knocked us out. And that's a shame because I think, we could have had a good old run there. And same with the FA Cup, I'd like to get a first few rounds, a few easy ones. Again, I don't mean easy, but lesser opposition, we'll say that. Lesser league position opposition. And then have a proper go. And get to the, the sixth round of the quarters, because then it's a bit like it is like a lottery then, isn't it? And to be honest, we've been playing like cup football anyway, really. That Fulham game was a bit like end to end. They go, we attack, they attack, we attack, they attack, which is a bit like being in the cup anyway. So look, we'll see what happens. But yes, so I've got to make my work. Wait a minute. Oh God, I've got to go and get to London Stadium in it. Anyway, hope everyone has a lovely rest of the Mondays. A little shorter one today, but I didn't realize what the time was, and I've got to pack up my bag and get to London Stadium. Anyway, hope everyone is safe and well and has a lovely rest of the Monday. As always, if you're struggling, if things are getting a bit on top of you and you just want someone to talk to, someone which maybe you don't talk to all the time, because that's different, isn't it? You say if you talk to the same people all the time, you don't think you can approach them or anything. But my DMs are always open. Give me a DM. We'll have a chat. We'll get all through this together. The West Ham community, as we said, will always bounce around. So, and it always surprises me. I don't know why it should surprise me, but it always does. But anyway, until next time, take care, everyone. Stay safe. Wash those hands. It's very important. Come on, you irons, and hopefully 3 points today. And not only 3 points today, but it means then tomorrow we'll have a fun episode. We'll do a Christmas episode tomorrow, I promise, if we win. Take care, everyone. Much love. Love you. Bye.